This is great news. This is great news for the city. Bulls are going to retire his jersey. Number one, Derrick Rose. Um, we all saw Derrick Rose play. We all follow his career. We all know the fact that he's an excellent human being. He's an excellent person. He's humble. Um, he's had an extraordinary adventure since his days at Simeon. He graduated from Simeon. He went to Memphis, and he ended up at Chicago, playing for the professional NBA team, the Bulls. Um, when you look at his career stats and you look at his his averages, like for someone to be that athletic and able to score, he was essentially pass first. He was essentially pass first. Um, I would grade him as on the tier with Baron Davis, like for players who could have been um, the best player to ever play that position at point guard. Of course, no one is passing Magic Johnson. We know that. But Baron Davis, Derrick Rose, those two were like in a league of their own when it comes to um, point guards. I kind of look at Magic Johnson as just being um, a guard forward, but he's considered a point guard, right? But again, like when you look at Derrick Rose, like he could pass, he could score, he could play defense if he wanted to. Um, he could coach, just by his charisma, he could coach. Given the fact that he was always calm on the floor, um, he always had to step up to for those big moments. He was there, you know. And like he grew up on Paulina, right? I was there when he was over there back in those days. I think what '02, '03. Um, I was there, right? He was on Paulina. I was on Hermitage, a block over. Um, he grew up in those parts, so he know what it was like to grow up over there. He went to Simeon, graduated from Simeon. That was my eighth grade. That was when my eighth grade um, graduation was, because I went to an academy over there, and they end up allowing us to graduate at Simeon for our eighth grade. But like for him to like go through those parts and me to like see that type of environment, like growing up, just my mother being from there, my grandfather being from there, like you hold values for people who come from those areas. You know what I mean? Like to be from that area, like you share values with those people. Like I know he's invested in Chicago. I know he's invested in Illinois. Um, for him to be from those places, like that's amazing. To see his career take off and to see his journey, and to see how successful he was, that's amazing. Like it's no reason anyone should say anything like, I can't make it or I can't do this or I can't make it out the South Side. I don't think that's possible. Like he comes from the west part of Inglewood, and like it's difficult trying to make it out of there. Like I would imagine like for someone to be um 18, maybe 19 to try to make it up out of there. I know it's difficult, right? But you have to remember West Inglewood, that's like a homeowners association. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing but homeowners over there. You don't have affordable housing. You don't have projects. It's all homeowners, so it's like we're from there, and like to be from there, like I grew up watching Ben Gordon. I grew up watching Kirk Heinrich. I grew up watching Luau Deng. I grew up watching Tyson Chandler. I grew up watching Eddie Curry. Those are the people who I grew up watching. And like when I saw Jeremy Pargo come into the game and play at Gonzaga, You know, I had the chance to see D Brown and Darren Williams play at Illinois. That was exciting days for me. You know what I mean? Like I was never, to the point where I could be able to play D1, but like had I worked on my handle, I knew I would have been able to play D1. But I was like D3 material. You know what I mean? So it's like when you see players like, Ben Gordon, Derrick Rose, Darren Williams, when you see these type of players, it inspires you. It inspires you to love the game. You know what I mean? It inspires you. So like that was my quick little story. I'm proud of the fact that he was able to accomplish all of this in his young days. Like he still has a lot of life to live. He's gonna go into the future being the anthem for Chicago. You know what I mean? Like his story is no different than LeBron James. Like him and LeBron James, they took the same path out of their neighborhoods, Akron, Ohio, Inglewood, Chicago, into the league. First round picks, first draft picks. And I know a lot of people, they wanted to see like, Derrick Rose defeat the Miami Heat. That was going to be a difficult task. But, again, he was drafted first pick, first round, I think 2008, right? So all he really needed though, really was like, all he really needed was like I don't know if he needed a shooting guard or a power forward. I don't know. Carlos Boozer, he was pretty good all his career, you know what I mean? Corey Brewer, excellent defender, excellent slasher. I don't know why we couldn't get past the Heat. I don't know. Like LeBron, he's a phenomenal talent. It's like his career is gonna go down storied though. You know what I mean? It's gonna go down storied. But like I don't know why they couldn't get past him. Like the big three. I don't know, but this is good news. He's made it to the top of the game now. He's the league now. Him, LeBron James, Joakim Noah, excellent ambassador for international basketball and local basketball. This is what I want to see. Like Chicago produces a lot of great talent. I grew up watching Evan Turner play at Ohio State, St. Joseph's. Who else? Jeremy Richmond out of Waukegan, Illinois. Sean Livingston out of Peoria. All these guys, excellent talents. Like to be from Chicago and to see this type of talent, like you're being able to rub elbows with them, like that's crazy. And like I was there when it was like, should we pick Michael Beasley or should we pick Derrick Rose? I was there, right? And the whole time I was just thinking like, you got to go with the hometown guy. You got to. You got to go with the hometown product. You got to. Like a lot of people wanted to, take Michael Beasley. You see what I mean? But they were looking at character. They were looking at, who's going to be the better fit for the franchise, who's going to be the leading piece. And like we had Kirk Hinrich, he wasn't a slump. So they took Derrick Rose, that kind of put Kirk Hinrich in the mirror view of, being traded for another piece. I was one of those who was like, trade Hinrich for Beatrice, at Golden State. Why not? That'll sure up a piece in the front court, but they played them alongside, a little bit too long. Cause like Kirk Hinrich, he's a combo guard. Derrick Rose, he's a pass first guard. It just didn't work out, and like him and Ben Gordon, that could have been, I think Ben Gordon, he should have come off the bench maybe. He could have been like a leading six man. But you know, they didn't do that. You know, so it was like we were suffering defensively, but at the same time, like we were giving, some good offense. But it could have went either way, right? I think since LeBron has been in the league, it's just been his league. You know what I mean? Like all the intention has went to him. The championships, the championship runs, it's went to him. So we're phasing out of that era where it's like the old players who came in from that 2000 area, they're starting to leave now. So whose league is it now? So again, you know, this is exciting. This is exciting. Um, his jersey is about to be retired, so you know we got to celebrate the fact that he's been that guy to um, give us the national recognition that we needed. Like everybody thinks of Chicago, they think of Michael Jordan, they think of Derrick Rose, they think of Oprah Winfrey. He's that guy now. He's given us national recognition. So I know a lot of people love his attitude, they love his spirit. So like this is good to see, you know. And I just got his shoes, so I'm happy about that. Um, like they'll be good to like play basketball in and just to keep, as a souvenir in the future. Um, Not many people can say, they had their own, like you said, they had their own signature shoe. And a lot of people they love Jordans. A lot of people love Rose's gear. So hey, that's what I want to see. The red and black and white. That's what I want to see. Great peace, Yakoki.